Hey everyone, Mistik here. Welcome back to the How to Trade series. Today will be the 4th installment in the series. If this is your first episode you have watched or you missed a previous episode, I highly recommend you go back and watch them as each episode builds on the previous. Before we get into the video, I'd like to inform everyone that my live stream schedule has been worked out and I'll start between 12 and 4 every Wednesday. More dates and times could be added in the future as my schedule loosens up, but as for this week's stream, it'll be starting at 3:30. Anyways, let's get started with this episode. Today we're going to be discussing some tips and tricks for you guys to actually be able to buy the items for the prices you're wanting. The hardest thing in trading comes when you're first starting out. Not everyone has the natural skill to finesse their way into cheap items from the start, so I'm hoping this will give everyone a kickstart into learning how to deal with sellers. I'm going to be splitting this into 3 separate tips. The first tip, and arguably the most important tip when it comes to getting the most deals you can profit from, is offering on every single item you see. As the famous Michael Scott would say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. This pretty much encapsulates what everyone should do in trade. If someone is saying they want 22k for their item, there's nothing wrong with offering 18k if that's the price you want for it. A lot of the time you won't end up getting the item, and that's totally fine. Getting rejected a whole bunch and getting one great deal is better than no deals at all. If you want to always have a trade ongoing, make sure you're offering on every item, whether it's fairly priced, overpriced, not for sale, or even cheap. The second tip focuses around the start of negotiating for an item. This is your first offer. Your first offer is the most important part of getting the item for cheap. If you offer at the price you want it for, you're inevitably shooting yourself in the foot. The key to getting items for cheap is making the seller think they're getting the deal. If you raise your offer 2 or 3 times, you might be able to convince them that you're overpaying, or at the very least paying a fair price. When in actuality, you're paying the price you found with your profit ratio. My rule generally is to allow enough room to add at least 500 to 1k at least twice. So if I'm trying to get that 22k item for 22k, I need at the very least to offer 20 or 21k to start. This allows me to make them want to sell it to me for 22k, and potentially they might take an even cheaper offer. The third and final tip is one to be used in closing a deal. I call it the split the difference tactic. Simply, this is positioning yourself in a place in negotiation to be able to ask if you can split the difference. This means to split the difference between your offer and theirs. For example, let's say you want that item for 22k, but they're asking for 23k. If you're on the 21k offer and get rejected, ask to split the difference at 22k. This makes the seller feel like it's a fair deal for both sides and might make them more inclined to sell. You have to position yourself in the negotiation properly for this tactic to be usable. I find it works best when you're only 1k apart, but it can be used for anything. That's it for the tips in this episode. This is just the first 3 of many tactics that I use in trading and that I will be teaching everyone throughout this series. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a comment down below, and click that subscription button. Also, make sure you click the little bell beside it to make sure you're always notified when I post. Anyways, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.